The Norwegian government today announced the end of all national coronavirus measures, but stopped short of a full reopening of the border. A phased reopening plan for the border has been revealed, starting with residents of all EU countries and selected others. Within Norway, all national measures including the recommendation for social distancing, capacity limits on public and private events, and restrictions on opening hours for bars and restaurants will be removed from 4 p.m. on September 25. The short version is, "We can now live as normal," said Prime Minister Erna Solberg. Local municipalities can still introduce mandates and recommendations, such as the use of face masks on public transit. The government did announce some changes to the entry restrictions. The mandatory use of quarantine hotels is scrapped. The quarantine period remains, but this can now be carried out in a private home or other suitable place. Hotels will remain available for those who have nowhere else to quarantine. Some closed border crossings will be reopened, while the availability of test centers at border crossings including airports will gradually be reduced. In connection with the announcement, the government revealed a plan to fully reopen the border in several phases. From midday on September 25, Norway will allow residents of all EU/EEA/Schengen countries to enter the country. Residents of so-called purple countries will also be permitted to enter, along with residents of the UK and Switzerland. Purple countries are those outside Europe that the Norwegian Institute of Public Health deems to be at a safe infection level. At present, the purple countries are New Zealand, Saudi Arabia, Singapore, and Taiwan. The quarantine period remains in place for arrivals from red countries, unless the traveler shows a valid EU digital coronavirus certificate. Those undergoing quarantine can test themselves out after 3 days using a PCR test. Previous exemptions to the entry ban including close family members remain in place. In Phase 2, the government will open the border to all countries on the EU's third country list. The quarantine period will be removed. This phase is expected to come into force in 3 to 4 weeks. Phase 3 is lacking in detail but will likely involve a much broader reopening and a gradual removal of all quarantine and testing requirements.